Hello everyone. So in this lesson, what we're going to do is to learn about the brush tool, the vector brushing tool. So let's go ahead and just get started. I'll create a new scene. So I'll go to File, New Scene after creating a new project. So we have a blank empty scene. So let's create a new level. So I'm going to go to Level, and here where it says New Level, let's click on the new raster level. So I'll go to New and say New Raster Level. So a raster level is going to be a pixel level, like your Photoshops, your traditional drawing programs. I'll hit the brush tool, and here, let's go to the raster sections. Now you're going to notice something quite different with my own raster brushes, because at the top here, you'll notice you don't have these brush sets. You might actually have the sketch, sketch B, and ink. Let's just click on the sketch brush for now. And let's go over here. So here, I'm just drawing faintly with my Wacom stylus, and I'm just drawing some random shapes right here. So this is an example of the sketch brush. The more pressure you apply on this raster level, this drawing level, the darker it actually gets. So I'm just trying to render a sphere just to get a test of that brush. So this is the sketch brush, and basically it's used to give you an idea. So why is this called a raster level? It's because your drawings pixelate. Basically, they lose quality when you zoom in. So I'll just hit the plus button, and you can actually see it starts to get blurry. So that's why it's called raster. So let's try the sketch B brush. Let's try drawing some basic cylindrical shape. Now you notice something here at the top. We can set the size of the brush. So I've set it to like -26, and you can see I have this very thin, brush here. I'll just dial this up to about 1. So I'll set this to 1. I'll just try drawing with that. So sketch B brush is slightly, grainy, and you can see it's giving out this kind of texture. There are lots of other brushes. So how can we pick those brushes and put them back? So for example, if I select this 2B brush, I could just draw any shape I want with this brush. Again, we can just draw sketches and we can erase those shapes. So here I can jump over to the eraser tool here, and with this I can increase the size of the eraser tool and just use that to sorry, I think this is on the type. Let's set it to the normal type, and here you can actually see I'm erasing this line. Now it uses an opacity. So if I drag this down, it's going to, gradually erase this line. We can drag the opacity a bit higher so we can easily just wipe out each line. So this is very good for doing cleanups. As you can see right here, I'm just trying to ease and get rid of those edges like that gradually without doing a hard erase. And so you can try out the brushes by clicking this slider and dragging down. And there are different kinds of brushes. For example, there's this charcoal. We can try out the charcoal brush. And I'm on the eraser, it won't work. So if I select that charcoal and go over here, I'm actually using the charcoal brush, and you can see it's creating some really nice kind of texture. And we can even use that to create some sort of shading like I've actually done right here. So you can actually see the brushes are quite, interesting. You can even switch to a pen type, like that has some pressure assigned to it. So just feel free, play around and see what you can actually create with these tools. And remember, there's always the eraser tool. You can always, wipe out edges and like that gradually. Right, so how did I have my brushes here at the top? So simple. If, say, for instance, I see any brush I really like this one, and say it's an interesting brush, I'll just hit that or press B. Let's try this long, grass brush. If I like that, I'll just right click and say pin to top. Simple. Right click on it and say pin to top. Say I select this one, I could just, draw with this. So it's just a nice drafting blue pencil like that. So we can use that and say, hey, maybe I'd like this pencil. So we just right click and say pin to top. And basically that's how you can actually, get those brush types. Comes with a lot of default, brush types and, a lot of these designs like that that you can use to create your brushes. So another thing you can actually do is to create multiple brushes. Let's say I would like to use the 2B pencil and the ink pencil or the sketch pencil or the B pencil. So let's create another one here and then select the brush, and that brush is going to be mapped to that color you selected. So here I'm on another palette, and say on this pencil here. And the cool thing is you can change the color. So let's say, for instance, this pencil, I want it to be red, and this pencil, I want it to be blue, right? So this is my first color. So I'll just switch over to this one. So am I on the eraser? Having a problem here. Let's try this one. Like that. You can see it's the same pencil type, but it's now blue. So I can use that to draft my idea, right? See, maybe I've created this isometric drawing or design like that. So I can now use the red pencil and say, hey, we have a section here, and then this is not good, or we need another section here that goes beyond, and we can always remember, we can change the size of our pencil. So we're not limited to just having one single size for the pencil, right? Just like that. So you can have more colors, select the color type, go to your raster tool, select the pencil. Let's say this charcoal. Now I am going to have this nice charcoaly brush. Let me just raise this up. I'm going to have some nice charcoaly pencil I can use to create textures. So you can create pencils. You can have access to the existing brushes. You can create more, set a color, and then pin a brush type to that color, like that. So you can see this one is really nice. You can use that for some nice little effects. And you can always change the color. If, for instance, now I'll change this from the green, and you can see I have that red and green stuff just going on, playing around here. And we can reduce the size to add some details. Hopefully you get the idea on how we can use this brushes. So that's how you can work with brushes in OpenToonz. There are pencils and brushes. You can create them, you can pin them to the top, and you can have fun. You can erase them, you can change their sizes, you can reduce the opacity, and you can lock their alpha. Now, what I haven't talked about is some brushes come with in an eraser mode. For example, if I do this and click on this eraser section and draw again, it's going to be wiping that. Let's set the opacity here. It's going to be wiping what I had actually initially created, like that. So it's going to be wiping, but it's quite light, but you can actually see it clearing out what we initially created. And you can use that to add some kind of nice little gradient effect, like that. So that's one thing you should watch out for. And I'll see you guys in the next quick tutorial.